Well guys, we got an old 7520 here, and what the hell's going on? Airplanes flying. I'm out in the middle of BFE here, and airplanes and helicopters flying over me. It's like, what the hell's going on? Anyway, 2 of the 3 remote banks aren't working. I just pulled that bezel off the right hand console and verified that the cables were moving. They felt like they were. It's kind of an odd situation. Here, let's look see what we got here. I blew the shit off these 2 here. We'll pull the something sure don't, I don't know, something don't seem right with that. I'm gonna get some couplers too and fix some of this oil that's puking out of this thing. I guess if we verify the cable's moving on this end, then we'll have to lower the hitch down and see if we can pull these 2 sections off and see if there's something going on with the dime valve or the spool's hung up in it, or I'm not certain. Kind of odd. Beautiful day. It's way too beautiful for this time of the year. So, I guess, I wonder if I can put the camera up here and I'll have to do a playback on it or something to see if the damn thing's moving on this end. Let's let me set the camera right now. Is that going to work? That ain't really going to work. I don't know if I can get close enough with this GoPro camera to see and to figure out the magic spot to put it. Let me stop recording and I'll start recording again to see if it moves. Okay. I got a feeling we're going to be pulling these sections, I think. Let me see and watch that video. Okay, let's play back this one. Okay, so both cables are moving. What I didn't check was make sure these guys, these had full controls, and sometimes these guys will shut them clear off. Let's blow the shit off of this thing. Let's check our positions on all this stuff before we get too carried away here. Let me fire my truck up, build some air. Well, I think we found the problem, guys. They got them shut off. The flow controls on the back of the SCV valves, they're all the way clockwise. Yeah, I mean, it's clear. Let's turn this one up. I think they're running a feeder with a motor on it, so you want that in the motor position. That one's off too. Let's just double check. I'll have to hook them back up here, so let me. Every once in a while, a guy needs an easy one to diagnose. Just gonna half-ass tighten it up for now, just to make damn sure I don't have to. I'll just run that jam nut up there and let's see what's going on here. 7810 I just went and looked at too. It had remote problems, and the couplers were just full of shit. They had all the covers knocked off of them, and they're just full of dirt. I couldn't get them to work, and then I cleaned them out, and then they worked fine. I'll have to get in the book there and see what they got for parts for that, and get some covers for them to keep them from getting full of shit. Not good for them, because you lose all your covers like this and they get full of dirt, and guys don't ever clean them out, and then they put their hydraulic hoses on there, and then they got shit all over the end of them, and the couplers are full of shit, and it all winds up right in the hydraulic system. So well, this jam nut ain't wanting to start on there. Come on. Okay, this one here, I have to be quite right. Something don't seem quite right. It doesn't sit on there straight for some reason. I've seen this happen quite a few times with these flow controls and stuff on these remotes. Get guys out there messing with them, they don't even really know what they're messing with, and they'll just start twisting stuff and turning stuff, and then next thing you know, nothing works. They don't know the difference between on the SCVs, the way that these are. They make a lot of different styles of these. I mean, electric over hydraulic and manual operated ones, and some of them will have flow controls incorporated in them, some of them won't. Some of them won't even have a... Here comes that helicopter again. What the hell he's doing? Okay, let's put the flow meter on that outside one. Let's see if it does anything now. Well, let's see what we got now on number, I think that's number one. I can't really tell. But I had my SCV or my float control on this one, and see how the newer style couplers, they get rid of all these leak ports, so you're better off to change all them over to the new style, and they got rid of all them leak off ports. They're not near as messy, they work better. Okay, what do we got here? Another tractor I rebuilt the engine in. Oh, look at that. Now it works. Kind of helps when you have them turned on. If you got your flow controls turned all the way off, it ain't gonna work very well. 2,000 pounds of pressure and about, of course we're idling, but if I take my flow off, or my pressure off, well, that's working just fine. Check the next one over. Swap it, move this around. What you doing, girlie? What are you doing there, good looking chickie? Hi, baby. this one out and see if it's doing anything. Most of the time, these cable operated ones, if the cable's moving and that's moving that spool, it should work. And this one's working too, so seeing the hose jump, so we'll call that a successful repair or diagnosis, I guess you could say. Man, some of you guys don't run these guys down. This old timer they can't get no help out here, and the old guy that's helping them out, shit, he's got to be damn near 80 years old. He don't know what the full controls and all that shit do on this thing. They got a damn control burn or something going on over there. Well, the air traffic. I did see a sign out there about something about a controlled burn. Alright guys, well, and here it comes right there. What the hell's he doing? He's just kind of hovering around right there. Huh. What the hell's going on? This ain't Australia. We don't move our cows with helicopters. Checking the cables moving. Yeah, all of these ranches are, you know, they can't find any help. The guy that does most of the work out here is an old retired farmer that's a neighbor of theirs, and he's a hell of a good guy. He don't know all this stuff, all this. And it's just kind of one of them deals where they've got so much, these guys have got a lot of cattle, man, and a lot of ground they're trying to cover, and they got no help. So a lot of you people say, oh, they don't take care of nothing. Well, you know, you need to walk in somebody's shoes a little bit before you start critiquing them all, telling them how no good they are. Okay, well, now I'm gonna run to a feed truck that has it's got a rear end out on it, I guess. And it went out when I was sitting at home trying to get my foot to feel good enough to walk in. And anyway, I'm gonna go. I guess they got the drive line and the axles out of it. I gotta go. They want me to come by and verify what rear end to order and what axle. One of the axles is torn up or something on it, so I'm gonna go verify the parts and get those coming. Well, ain't much video, but every once in a while a guy needs an easy one, huh? Well guys, we're heading back out there. I got a couple of new couplers for the 7520 and then the 7810. Had a busted light switch, and it's not very pleasant outside, but couldn't make up my mind what I wanted to do this morning, because this storm we're currently encountering right now, the wind this morning was pushing it in, and I'd almost rather stand in the rain than the damn wind, to be completely honest with you. The wind is just, when it's blowing like 40 miles an hour, it's just terrible to work in. I'd rather be wet than be in the wind. But anyway, So yeah, we're gonna, hopefully the tractor's in the same spot. Sometimes these outfits won't tell you where they move them to, and hopefully we get out here and we can find them. I know the 7520, they were waiting on the tire shop to come, and the steer tire on the right side was flat on it. We were waiting for Schwab's or somebody to come out there and fix the tire. But anyways, I'll be out here in a second. We'll see if we can get the lights working on the 7810 and go put 2 new couplers on the 7520. The coupler I'm changing, we're leaking really bad on number 1 out the leak ports. Okay. Well, hopefully I didn't screw up, and should have opened the bags up before I even come out here. Checking to see if the switch is going to be correct. That looks like the right switch. Yeah. Switch and a knob. This club sure makes my foot feel a lot better, but it's not very easy to walk in. Left the key and accessory, so that's not good. I guess something happened the other day and the wind caught the door and broke the glass on it, and they got a door glass ordered from what I understand. Okay. So what do we got here, and what's holding the lot here? These, if I remember correctly, these all come apart from the bottom, I thought. Somebody's broke it all apart here on this side. Well, that makes it easier for me, I guess. This don't look like it's in the best of condition as well. What is that? This poor old girl, she's seen better days. Now let's see if I can get that off of there. Jam nut. Oh, come on. What are you doing? Most of the time you just get a little jam that's loose and it'll spin off there, but maybe I should have brought some WD-40 up in here with me. Or a socket or something. Okay. Get this up far enough without breaking it. Switch just came apart on it. I see what's going on now. I need to dig that out of there. It's kind of busted off up inside the receptacle. There we go. Okay. What do we got here? We gotta go like that. Is that? Got her all backwards. There we go. Get her. Good grief, man. There's a tight damn fit on there. There we go. Holy shit. Okay. Jam nut on it. See if the lights will work once I get it done. Was there 2 nuts on that one? No, there wasn't. Sometimes they'll have another nut to space the stud out on the... I don't see nothing like that. Buddy, I'm a little bit late getting out here. Had a buddy of mine call from Klamath, and he was looking for an Eaton Halo bell housing, one that would accept a Halo tube, and I had one, so I waited around for him to show up so we could take care of him, get him going. Oh, come on. Cannot get it to start. I'm not holding my mouth right or something here. What if it's gotta go like that. That's the way it come off. I'll be damned if I can get it to start. There it goes. And hopefully the lights work. I mean, I just saw the switch was broke yesterday, and when I was looking at the remotes, because the operator come over and... Duke! Hey! Get out of the road! Get over here! You two. You know better than that. You know better than that. Josie goes a million miles an hour. You can't ever slow her down. Okay, let's put this broken panel back on here. No. What the hell do I got? Can't remember how it came off. Got this hook deal here in it. Somebody's really been rough on this old gal. I got a knob for it too. There was no knob on it. Alrighty. Josie! Alright, I got company here. Well, we got the lights fixed on that. You'll have to take my word for it. They work. Looks like they started a solar panel project out here and didn't get it finished or something. Looks like they got about half the panels on there. The same outfit, they've got a D8K. I think it's a K, it's an H or a K. I guess the track tensioner or something's wrong with it up there. I don't have time to look at it today, but maybe in the next couple of days I'll come back out here and we'll take a look at that D8 and see if we can get that figured out. Looks like an old John Deere Model B or something sitting out there. That's a good old tractor. You kind of need to get that thing going again. It's got a tricycle front end on it. I got a friend of mine that's got an old B model, but it's got a regular. I think they changed that over. They put a regular front end under it. Got rid of the tricycle front end on it. I better. What am I doing here? Okay, I'm sure Josie wants out to wreak havoc on the landscape. Okay. This is one of those deals where there was a serial number break on the updated and on the remote couplers. Oh, that's wonderful, huh? Very greaseful. So they should work, but they basically, what it all boils down to is they just kept subbing until, even with the serial number breaks, they both serial numbers ended up coming to this one. And I told Wayne, I said, I'm pretty certain that they got rid of most of these leak-off port couplers. We don't have to worry about putting any covers on them because there ain't any of them in there anyway. But those should work. Let's see here. Big crescent wrench or something. Is that oil I'm seeing underneath on the ground there, or what am I seeing there? No, cow shit. You know, this boot works pretty good, but every once in a while, if you just step wrong, you sure know it. Let's see. I had a big crescent wrench. There we go. Nut wrecking spanner. I'll never forget that. When I first started YouTube, some guy from England, I don't use them nut wrecking spanners. I thought that was a great comment. I really liked it. That's what I call them now, is nut wrecking spanners. I guess we're gonna find out if these are right or not. As long as they thread in there, that's all that matters. Which it looks like they're going to. Nothing wrong with that, so let's pull the bottom one out and then put that one in. Ah! She's a greasy one. Come on, it's hitting that hose right there. One of my local, well, I've been friends with, I went to school with his son, actually. He was a little older than me, but he's a faithful watcher of my videos. Lives right down the road from the shop there, and he's pretty well retired. And anyway, he asked me yesterday, he says, Jerry asked me yesterday, he goes, why don't you talk more about your Navy stuff? He said, I think guys would be interested in that. I don't know, if you haven't known, I was on a nuclear ballistic missile submarine. I was a machinist mate. That's where a lot of my mechanical stuff got started, but yeah, I was on submarines. I signed up. What happened is I got out of submarine A school, and what was the deal there? I'm trying to remember exactly. I scored high enough. I think I was top of the class, and I got automatically advanced from E3 to E4. And to be honest with you guys, things didn't work out right. Something got screwed up in the paperwork. And I was a young guy, and I resented it quite a bit. And I got in some trouble when I was in the Navy because I was kind of pissed off because they didn't fulfill their end of the obligation to get me paid and get my rank advanced, you know. And so anyway, what happened was I got automatically advanced, and then there was another thing where you could sign up. You could sign up for 1 extra year, and you got a bonus or something. I can't remember the full details. It's been so long ago. It's been, shit guys, it's been 25, 26 years since I was in the Navy. So I don't remember the full details anyway. Damn, this line here's in the way too. I'm gonna have to pull one of these off, I think, to get it tightened up. Okay, let's go get a wrench and pull this one off. That looks like a 5/8 or something like that. So anyways, they didn't 100% fulfill their end of the obligations, and I had gone to captain's mast. I think I missed ship's movement one time, and then the second time I went to captain's mast. If you don't know what captain's mast is when you really screw up and you go stand tall before the man. You sit there at parade rest in front of your commanding officer, and your division officer, your XO, your chief petty officer, and your leading petty officer will be there in the same room with the captain discussing whatever happened and what your punishment's going to be. Well, the first time I missed ship's movement in a foreign port. My first boat was actually a fast attack submarine, and so I missed ship's movement, and I got in big trouble over that because the Coast Guard had to fly me back out to the boat. And needless to say that the captain and the XO and my chief and my division officer and all these people were not very happy about the entire situation because I was really having a lot of fun. What was I gonna get? Oh yeah. Anyway, so that was the first time I went, and then the second time I went there was this kid named Eric Erksleben, and me and him didn't get along. And he would come down to machinery too when he was on below decks watch, and he'd take the back of his hand. He was on below decks watch. I was off duty. We just got back. We were in port in Waikiki. Well, we were at Fort Island because they parked the missile boats on Fort Island, you know. And so anyway, I had come back from Waikiki that afternoon, and we were getting ready to go back out again and go to the bars and do typical Navy sailor type shit. And he kept coming by and whacking me with the back of his hand, and he was on duty. He was below decks watch. And I just told him, I said, you know, third time's a charm. He goes, what's that mean? I says, you're gonna do it, you do it again, you've done it twice. I says, I'm gonna break your fucking nose. And he did it again, and I just gave him a quick jab, and I broke that. I hit him, and that bone right here broke, and it went out. It was sticking out like that, and he was bleeding out. His nose clear up here at the top, you know. And after he finally took his hands off his face and was screaming and hollering, this little area when I grew up, you know, when I was a kid here, if you punch somebody in the nose, that sumbitch is coming back at you swinging. Well, he just took off running down missile compartment 3rd level, screaming and hollering, "You broke my nose! You broke my nose!" And I'll never forget. Oh, Joe Mose, he was a 2nd class petty officer. He was a machinist mate. They called us A gangers because we always stuck together, A division. Oh, Joe Mose goes, "He's a one-hitter quitter." We were all laughing, and I thought, well, yeah, that's the end of it. Maybe he learned his lesson. That's the end of it. No, he went straight to the captain. Captain or XO or something, and went and told on me. And I mean, I'm not kidding you. 10 minutes after I punched that fucker in the nose, I was standing at Captain's Mast getting punished for it. And God, I can't get a wrench on that. So yeah, it's too close. Let's get Nipex pliers. But anyway, I just went in there and stood at parade rest. And of course, you know, my captain, XO, my division officer, Mr. Rothy, was there. Mr. Shahadi, my leading petty officer, he was the first class, and good old Chief Moyer was there. And the captain told me to come out. You know, you come out of parade rest and stand at attention when you talk to the captain. And I was at attention because he wanted to know my side of the story. And at the end of the whole thing, he asked me, well, if you had it to do all over again, would you make a different decision? I said, nope. I said, I warned him 2 times, don't do it again. And he did it anyway. And I said, there's repercussions for your actions. I said, no, Captain, no, sir. Mr. Witchert was his name, Captain Witchert. And that was back then, in that era. A lot of them captains, when I first got in the Navy, they would never even allowed a commander to be in charge of a ballistic missile submarine. But at that time, they started, I don't know if they were short on personnel or what was going on, but they were starting to make some of these commanders actual captains of the ship, and still being a commander, not a full-bird captain. And so, I don't know, he was one of them. We had a captain called Captain King. Captain King was a cool dude. I liked him. I'll never forget when because I was kind of right in on the tail end of the Cold War. The Cold War was still going on. Which, trust me, I've learned a whole lot about real history since then, and I won't elaborate on that too much because I'll probably lose a lot of viewers. But anyway, I was sitting at I was on the helm, because when you first get on a submarine, it's different. The Russian boats were different. One of the most senior positions on a Russian submarine was driving the boat. One of the most junior positions, and the whole thought process behind the U.S. Navy's approach to that is that if we can trust you to drive the boat and be responsible for everyone's life on board, then we can trust as a junior, as a seaman or a seaman recruit, or a fireman recruit, we can trust you with anything on the boat. And so that was their whole idea behind that, but not on Russian boats. But anyway, Captain King always smoked a cigar, and he was a character. And I remember I was on the helm. I'd qualified helmsman, and the helmsman sat on the left-hand side, and the stern planesman sat, no, I might have that wrong. I can't remember. I think the helmsman was on the right. The stern planesman was on the left. And anyway, the Captain King goes, Fireman Rogers? I said, yes, sir. He goes, you know what the problem with Russia is? I said, they're communists, sir. And he goes, well, that's close. He said, the problem with Russia is it's full of Russians. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that. He got basically kind of forced out. He was an old time, he started out on diesel boats and then got his nuclear qualifications. He had been in a long time, and basically he was what I would refer to as old Navy, and they didn't want the old Navy in there. They don't like the old salty dogs. They're politically incorrect. Captain King was politically incorrect, and they didn't like that. Even back then, you could see where it's going and where it's at right now, where the military's at right now, to where anybody that I would call a true patriotic American is probably not in there. that's part of the reason I don't talk much about it, because the way the country is right now, I see what they've done, especially with the vaccination thing and the whole COVID bullshit, and I see what they did to the armed services. It's what you call purging, and that's exactly what they did. They purged them. And that process was actually starting, you could tell, with the political correctness when I was in there. So I really don't advise most of these younger guys. I don't advise them to go in, to be honest with you. And I hate saying that about my country, but right now, if you go in there, the only thing that they're going to be using you is cannon fodder. You're going to be cannon fodder for globalist wars. Because the United States is the #1 proponent of globalism. It's this place right here. And so I just wouldn't advise any young man to do that. You know, we've got problems right here at home that our troops should be focusing on, not overseas. We need to stay out of everybody's frickin' business and mind our own damn business and start taking care of our own nation and our own people and our own borders. We got millions and millions of drug addicts and homeless people, and the border's wide open, and they want to go worry about Israel and Ukraine and everybody else, you know. Why is that not going in? What the hell? Well, what the hell's going on there? That one's stuck or something. It's not stuck. There it goes. Holy shit. Yeah, we just don't need to be the nation's or the world's police force, you know? It's working good. All right. And trust me, guys, I know some of you might dislike what I said there, but I'm about the most right-wing patriotic. I'm the so-called conservatives that inhabit our planet now. Let's just put it this way. You got the center here. You got the lefties over here. You got the right wing over here. Well, I'm over here. I'm way over here. Let's put it that way. So, anyway. Well, guys, I'm gonna pull this flow meter out of there and then take off and head back to the shop. See if we can get something lined out. Well, anyways, guys, thank you very much for watching. Like I say all the time, make damn sure that you're subscribed, because these YouTube clowns are messing with me, because I am a right-winger. Anyway, make sure you're subscribed. And I had mentioned that before, and a lot of people went back in there and checked, and sure as hell they were unsubscribed. So make sure you're subscribed, and if you haven't, please do, and like the video. And I guess if you don't, like I always say, you can just call me a no good bastard.